presentation of the National Football League.
Flacco in the shotgun, firing down the far sideline. He's got a man there, and it is caught. John Brown, touchdown Ravens. Flacco rolls to the right, throws. He's got a man, touchdown Alex Collins.
Touchdown, Antonio Brown. We have a brand new ball game.
Roethlisberger slings it, intercepted Anthony Levine, and the Ravens are celebrating. The Ravens come to Pittsburgh and beat the Steelers in prime time.
It is a new chapter. The Ravens were 3-1 after beating Pittsburgh in that first meeting. They looked like the class of the division, but a lot has changed over the last 4 weeks. Beautiful day here in Baltimore, 56 degrees. Wind doesn't appear to be much of a factor right now. Mostly sunny skies the rest of the day. Mike Tomlin, he understands what Ravens week is all about. And from the Baltimore perspective, Dan, you got the sense that Flacco was excited that it was Steelers week because it ups the ante and maybe can snap this team out of their funk.
Yeah, he said we always seem to play well against those guys. We have a good game plan. He likes the matchups. He thinks that they can run the ball today and get some chunk runs that they haven't been getting.
Pittsburgh won the toss. They've deferred to the second half. Boswell kicks it off. And Moore will take a knee. It's coming out to the 25-yard line, and that's where Flacco and the Ravens will open up. A struggle last week against Carolina, 36-21 loss. They gave up 24 straight points in the first half. Flacco had a touchdown, 2 interceptions, and a bunch of drops for the Ravens receivers.
And he's adjusting it to a couple of new wide receivers. He feels it's gone well. We just have to adjust to teams coming out and playing press against us. But he expects to see man-to-man because he's confident that they can tear up zone defenses.
John Brown, Michael Crabtree, Willie Snead. The receiving core for Baltimore. Flacco will play fake. Flacco throws on first down, incomplete, in the direction of John Brown. Didn't appear to be on the same page. Offensively, Evan went through it. No Ronnie Stanley, no James Hurst. So the son of Zeus, Orlando Brown Jr. makes his first home start. And Illuminor on that left side. And also, Alex Lewis hasn't been 100% either at left guard. Collins gets the carry. Not much there. Javon Hargrave, first man to greet him. 1-yard pickup for Baltimore. Brings up 3rd and long on the first series. Defensively for Pittsburgh. Numbers are getting better. 15th in team defense. They've been very good against the run, number 6. John Bostic quietly having a good year in a spot that was a bit vulnerable, of course, with no Shazier. And Bostic is doing his job week in and week out. 3rd and 9 for Baltimore. Buck Allen is in. Flacco from the gun. Flacco to the outside. Caught. Mark Andrews. Talented rookie from Oklahoma. 20 yards and a first down for Baltimore.
They're going to beat the blitz with this play. You can see on the right side of the screen is the tight end Andrews. Singled up on Morgan Burnett, and Burnett a little bit late getting over. Nice route there. Well designed there. A little bit of a rub route down the field by the outside receiver. Now Lamar Jackson's in at quarterback.
Yeah, Flacco's been really impressed with Andrews. On a give, Gus Edwards. He handled that first wave and picks up 9.5, very close to that first down. It might be a favorable spot. It is enough. First down. And now Lamar Jackson is on the field for Baltimore. So keep an eye on Jackson, how they line him up, how they use Flacco. It will be Flacco to the outside where he's been nothing but a decoy. Oh, the ball is free. And the Ravens have it. Gus Edwards. Jackson and Edwards motioning at one another after the miscue.
Yeah, Gus did not like that mesh point with Jackson. Let's see exactly what happened here. It's perfectly in there, but it looked like that Jackson was trying to pull the ball out, and Edwards did not have a good grip on it. This is always a problem when you've got a rookie running back and a rookie quarterback. running an option play.
So back to their traditional look with Flacco under center. They lose 3 yards on that play. 2nd and 13. Collins and Ricard. Play fake. Flacco in trouble. Flacco is sacked with a flag down at the 45. Hit by Tuitt. Stephon Tuitt had a sack last week on Baker Mayfield.
Pittsburgh
Offside.
may have been offsides.
Defense, number 91. 5-yard penalty. Replay. 2nd down.
It is Craig Rolstad's crew. They've called the 5th most penalties per game this season.
Yeah, it looks like they got Tuitt. Tuitt has been coming on strong for the Steelers as of late. That time he cost his team a big sack.
And once again, Lamar Jackson is in, but this time he sets up as a receiver. Working out of the slot. Flacco. Flacco hit as he throws. Cameron Hayward had a clear path, and it's ruled incomplete. So now 3rd and 8 for Baltimore.
Yeah, Matt Skura, the Ravens center, is going to get beat here. You can see 97 left side of the screen is Hayward. Flacco lucky to get rid of that ball before Hayward could bring him down.
Ravens working quickly here. Nickel package, Mike Hilton for Pittsburgh. Flacco slings it too low. Crabtree, the intended target. And the Ravens drive stalls.
Well, that's what happens when you're getting pressure. Flacco was hit on the 2 previous plays, one nullified by an offsides penalty, but you hurry it up a little bit. Don't really set your feet and you come up short.
How will this offensive line hold up today? Short-handed against this Pittsburgh defense that seems to be gaining steam with each week. Sam Cook will punt it for Baltimore. Brian Switzer waiting for it at the 10. Cook trying to place it inside the 10. The high bounce into the end zone. Cyrus Jones didn't have the angle on it. 42-yard punt, but a net of 22. We'll see the Steelers offense when we come back to Baltimore.
Right.
Ben Roethlisberger, 2nd quarter last week against Cleveland. He went to the sideline. He went to grab a water bottle, and it felt like he grabbed a marshmallow. He told his backup Joshua Dobbs, I think I broke my finger. Had an MRI at halftime, and it was confirmed. Left index finger is broken. He's wearing a glove.
It's just the tip of the finger, though, so he can grab the ball still. He just can't bend the top of the finger.
He does have a splint on it underneath that glove. Swing pass to Connor. Gets to the perimeter on 1st down. He's been outstanding in the pass game.
Now you can see the left index finger is just pretty much straight. He's not going to be able to. He may have trouble handing the ball off with his left hand, he told us yesterday, and he'll be in the shotgun probably more than under center.
5-yard gain on the catch and run by Connor. James Washington is active this week. Last week it was Justin Hunter. Mike Tomlin basically said, look, until one of them separates from the other, we'll just go back and forth. Connor takes the hole. The acceleration for a 1st down. Good block by DeCastro. And this has been an elite group on the offensive line. Even with that injury to Marcus Gilbert, Matt Filer doing an outstanding job on that right side. But Villanueva, Foster, Pouncey, DeCastro, top-notch for the Steelers. Tavon Young right now is the nickel for Baltimore. Smith and Carr are the starters. Humphrey coming back from injury. Here's Connor. Connor takes the lane into Baltimore territory. What a rip by Connor. Blocks from Smith, Schuster, and DeCastro to spring him free for 25.
Well, DeCastro, one of the best in the NFL. Watch him get out in front. And watch the patience here and the way he sets the block up as Castro wipes out the corner there. Tony Jefferson. Big gain.
Connor has moves, but at the core, he's a bruiser. So he'll dish out punishment along the way. And a new set of downs for Pittsburgh. They could not run the ball in the first meeting between these two teams. Roethlisberger, play fake, knocked away. Tried to toss it to McDonald, and it looked like Smith got a piece for Baltimore. 8th rush of 20 or more yards this season. That's the most in the NFL for Connor. Just for comparison's sake, Baltimore has 1 rush as a team of 20 or more yards.
Just to show you how important he is to set the tone here in the first series. 2 carries, 1 reception. 38 yards so far for Connor.
2nd and 10 for Pittsburgh. First possession of the day for the Steelers. Roethlisberger from the gun. Pump. Looks. Roethlisberger throws. Incomplete. There was nobody near that football.
And he ran back into the pocket.
Terrell Suggs put the heat on Roethlisberger.
Yeah, he's done this a number of times. Going to get just relentless pass rush by Suggs. And he almost gets in the right arm of Roethlisberger. That's the aiming point for Big Ben. Try to get that right arm pinned to his side so he can't make that type of throw.
Dime package here for Baltimore. Anthony Levine is in. Brown, the motion man for Pittsburgh. On a 3rd and 10 for the Steelers. Running play. Connor takes it up the gut. And now what do? Steelers in no man's land. C.J. Mosley gets credit for the tackle. And the Pittsburgh offense is staying on the field.
That shows you the confidence that Tomlin has in his defense. A lot of weapons here for Roethlisberger. That was a surprise call on 3rd and 10. But when you've got Juju Smith-Schuster and Antonio Brown on the same side of the field, gives the defense a lot to think about.
Right now they'd be staring at a 56-yard field goal. They're going to go for it on 4th and 6.
Well, Ben's going to punt it.
He does. With the left foot, Ben Roethlisberger. And it's returned to the 29-yard line by his close friend, Eric Weddle. A little something different there. On a 27-yard punt and an 8-yard return for Big Ben. Roethlisberger, lefty.
Sponsored by K Jewelers. For all the moments, for love, forever. Sonic. This is how you Sonic. And by the Honda family of SUVs.
So a Ben Roethlisberger punt gives Baltimore the football, and Collins rumbles for 3, hit by Bostic.
Well, why is Eric Weddle so respected? Well, number one, he's a very smart player. Watch him looking in at Roethlisberger. As soon as Roethlisberger backs up, he's going to back up knowing that the punt is coming.
The 7th career punt for Roethlisberger. And it sets up Baltimore now with a 2nd and 7 after the 3-yard run from Collins.
Have they all been left-footed?
We'd have to go back and check. Flacco connects with Michael Crabtree. First down across the 45-yard line, good for 14 yards through the air.
And good protection for Roethlisberger. Sharp route by number 15, Crabtree. Little combination here, but he sets down in the middle of the zone, and that's what Ben wants to see, is zone coverage today from the Steelers. He feels that with his type of receivers, good possession receivers, that he can pick them apart.
They had 451 yards of offense in the first meeting back in week 4. 26-14 win for Baltimore. Flacco, deep shot. Oh, what a grab! Chris Moore climbs the imaginary ladder for the Ravens.
Great catch and a great throw and pass protection. The blitz is coming, but Joe has plenty of time to step up there and throw it high enough for Chris Moore over the top of Morgan Burnett for 30 yards.
And Lamar Jackson is in, working out of the gun. A run. And nothing there. Steelers were all over it, sniffed out by T.J. Watt initially.
If for that type of offense to be successful, Jackson has got to be a threat to throw the ball. The Steelers, once they see him in the shotgun, they change their defense to almost like a gap 8 type of defense where they're playing run all the way.
2nd and 10 for Baltimore. We approach 7 minutes to go in this first quarter. Buck Allen in the backfield for the Ravens. Give it to him. Allen spun down inside the 20. NFL Today update. JB and Boomer in the Big Apple.
Speed kills.
You know, a quarterback's best friend is a screen pass that turns into a touchdown. Phil Simms had a lot of these. How about Kareem Hunt? He's going to go 50 yards for the touchdown. The Chiefs score first against the Cleveland Browns. They take a 7-0 lead, 27 touchdown passes on the year for Patrick Mahomes.
Ian, does Dan Fouts argue with any of his quarterback colleagues at all?
No, he gets along with everybody.
Yeah, right.
Jackson gives it up. Collins. So a burst from Collins right up the middle. And another first down, 9 yards for Baltimore.
Well, watch Marshall Yanda here. The 12-year veteran, one-on-one on Hargrave. And Collins smartly gets in behind him and takes it right to the 10.
So 1st and goal for the Ravens. Double tight end set, Hurst and Andrews. Harbaugh is so high on these young tight ends. He believes both could be Pro Bowlers at some point. Flacco, end zone. A battle, and it's won by Hilton. And a matchup with Andrews. Bostic put the pressure on Flacco.
Ball slightly underthrown to Andrews. As you can see, if it's put out in front at 6'5" over the 5'9" Hilton, Andrews might have had a shot at the touchdown, but give Hilton a lot of credit for going up as high as he can and swatting it away with his left hand. Jackson is in. He had his first career passing touchdown last week. It's a give to Collins, and he's dropped inside the 5. So a 5-yard pickup, 3rd and goal for Baltimore, 5.5 to go in this first quarter. And there was some question about Collins' availability for this game. He was nicked a little bit in the last game. Dealing with a foot injury. Yeah, he looks really good so far in the first quarter. And Collins. A lot of confusion, though, as to who should be in the game and who shouldn't be. It was he and Jackson that were asking on the sideline who's supposed to be in. A lot of time on the play clock, though. Now they're still going to take a timeout. They just didn't like how this was lining up for Baltimore. Yeah, this is a smart timeout. You're at the 5-yard line. 3rd down, critical play here. Got to get everybody on the same page. This Ravens squad turned it over 3 times against Carolina, and they didn't force any turnovers. I think that was the real disappointment for Baltimore last week. They gave up 386 yards to the Panthers. They had been giving up just under 281 per game. And you think about the Ravens, you always think about, you know, defense, sacks, turnovers. Well, it's on the season, in 8 games, they only have taken the ball away 7 times. 2 fumble recoveries and 5 picks. Yeah, they're a -4 turnover differential. Last season, they were +17 with 34 takeaways. Jackson lines up as a receiver. 3rd and goal for Baltimore. Flacco pulls the trigger. Way too high for John Brown. And now it's 4th and goal for the Ravens. Nobody was following Jackson after the movement. Yeah, it certainly looked like once he was down the sidelines, he had a shot. In fact, I think everybody in the stands saw him. The only guy that didn't was Flacco, but Flacco's read took him to the middle of the field. Nothing there, and he threw it away. And a chip shot for Justin Tucker. Highest career field goal percentage all time, 90% on his attempts. Right down the middle. Ravens are on the board. The impressive drive by Baltimore. Couldn't punch it in. They'll settle for 3.
Minimum football Thursday at 8 on NFL Network, Fox, and streaming on Prime Video.
$3-0 lead for the Ravens after the short field goal by Tucker. Steelers on that 3rd and 10 ran the football, set up 4th and 6, and then elected to have Roethlisberger punt it. Ravens took it, went 10 plays, 66 yards. for the first points of the day. Steelers riding a 3-game winning streak. Victories over Atlanta, at Cincinnati, and Cleveland. They only have one remaining divisional game on their schedule, and that's the season finale against Cincinnati. Returnable for Switzer. Switzer cuts it upfield, short of the 40-yard line. That's where Pittsburgh will have it. Chris Moore with a tackle on special teams.
Now, Lamar Jackson has not had a reception so far this year. Watch as he heads up the sideline. Not only would he have a reception, he'd have a touchdown catch. But Flacco looking down the middle into double coverage, sails it out of the back of the end zone. A missed opportunity there for the Ravens.
20 games in this series have been decided by 3 points or less, and each team has won 10. Marlon Humphrey is now out there for Baltimore. Jimmy Smith is not. Humphrey returning from a thigh injury. He's missed the last 2 games for Baltimore. Roethlisberger, incomplete. James Washington, the former Oklahoma State star, that may have hit his knee.
Yeah, Ben let this ball go just a little bit too soon. You can see how late Washington gets his head around. The ball poorly thrown down by his knees. An opportunity lost there. He was open.
And a rough start so far for Ben. 1 of 4 to open up. Roethlisberger to the sideline. Perfectly executed to Antonio Brown for a first down. Matched up with Humphrey for 11.
Well, the blitz is going to come, and the blocking is absolutely perfect. You can see Connor coming over to take care of the blitzing linebacker, and Ben eyeing his favorite receiver, Antonio Brown, for the first down.
Roethlisberger has at least 250 yards and a touchdown in all 7 games this season. That's the longest in-season streak in franchise history. 4 receiver set. Protection holds up. Roethlisberger picks his man, and it's over the middle to Juju Smith-Schuster. 9-yard completion hit by the linebacker Kenny Young for the Ravens.
And talking to Juju yesterday, talked at playing inside as he was on that play, has helped him learn the entire offense. He sees it from all different angles. He understands the big picture. And for a 21-year-old, plays like a seasoned veteran.
Yeah, it didn't feel like we were talking to a 21-year-old yesterday. He has been so productive in his year and change in a Steeler uniform. 2nd and 1. Roethlisberger wide open. Juju Smith-Schuster works the sideline. And a first down for Pittsburgh. There was nobody near him. 18 yards. They caught the blitz, and they made Baltimore pay.
And you can see the nice job that Jesse James does in rubbing away the safety and allowing that crossing route to be so wide open. That's 106 catches now for Smith-Schuster in a year and a half in the NFL.
And the yards after catch makes him so dangerous. First down inside the 25. Fake the run. It's a pass to James Washington, so they get the rookie involved. Brandon Carr in coverage for Baltimore. 8 yards on the throw and catch.
And you notice that ball was thrown to the body of Washington, and that's what Ben likes to do with Washington because he's a physical receiver. He's got the speed and everything, but he's got a big upper body that prefers that ball thrown to his chest.
Steelers have been outstanding in the red zone this season, 2nd in touchdown scoring percentage. Connor dances, somehow emerges, tries that spin move. It's a 3-yard gain. The vision of Connor just to find any kind of crack.
He's really developing too, because you talked about his size at 230 pounds, but his nimbleness of making all these spin moves as of late. So as a tackler, you're waiting for the big hit, and he spins away from you.
7th play of the drive. First down for the Steelers. Roethlisberger looks. Roethlisberger throws. Incomplete. He was trying to hit Jesse James, and C.J. Mosley was right there for Baltimore.
Now they're going to double Antonio Brown. He was running a slant route, and Eric Weddle comes over from his safety spot. Watch Weddle, right side of the screen there. That takes away the primary read for Roethlisberger, and now he's in trouble, and he can't find AB running in the back of the end zone. But a good play that time by number 32.
1:53 to go here in the first. Roethlisberger, short toss. Connor. And he took a shot as he went inside the 10 for Pittsburgh. 6 yards, hit by the strong safety Tony Jefferson. So third down now for the Steelers. Last season, this was a struggle. Not the case this year. They've been so efficient once they get inside the 20. This is a 3rd and 5 for Pittsburgh. Ninth play of the drive. Steelers trying to take the lead. Roethlisberger hooks a pass underneath. Caught by Connor. He's got the angle. Connor bangs his way in for the touchdown. Hit by Eric Weddle. Not enough to keep him out of the end zone. And the touchdown streak continues for Connor.
Well, Connor coming from the opposite side of the formation, and he's going to leak out into the flat here, and you can see that move right there by Vance McDonald. Slowed down Mosley and allowed Connor to get to the corner. Another well-designed play by offensive coordinator Randy Fichtner. McDonald did not make contact, so it wasn't an illegal pick. He just got in the way of the middle linebacker.
Extra point here from Boswell. These have not been gimmies. He's missed 3 of them this season. 9 plays, 61 yards, and it's Connor in the end zone yet again. .103 to play here in the first. As we know, all scoring plays are reviewed. They took a little bit longer to look at that one, but now it's been confirmed. Canaday will snap it. Berry will hold it. And the Boswell extra point is good. 7-3 Steelers. Connor doing it on the ground. Also doing it through the air for Pittsburgh. Handles the collision.
The Best Unlimited is on Verizon, America's most awarded network.
Roethlisberger to Connor. First receiving touchdown of Connor's 2-year NFL career. And less chatter about Le'Veon Bell as Connor continues to produce. Boswell kicks it off. It's coming out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go back to the touchdown reception by Connor, but check out Antonio Brown on the crossing route. Watch his right hand here. It goes down and it gets stepped on. And he's going to get looked at to Brandon Carr.
Let's check it with Evan Washburn.
Well, guys, the area of concern is that right index finger, some blood near the nail. He looks to be okay. He's working with athletic trainers and team doctors. Hard handshakes to see if he can still grip things. Look, it's just uncomfortable for a receiver. It's a big deal.
Give it to Alex Collins for Baltimore. Collins taking it to the outside for 7 yards. Good block by Orlando Brown Jr.
Yeah, he showed some real mobility that time. Orlando Brown Jr. is huge. Son of Zeus, 6'8", 345, and got out in front that time for a good gain on first down.
Stepping in for James Hurst, who's out with a back injury. No Ronnie Stanley today with the ankle injury. 2nd and 3, final stretch of this first quarter. Flacco throws it underneath, caught by Collins, makes a move, and got hit up top after the 4-yard pickup. Sean Davis got him on the tackle. And John Bostic up high.
Yeah, pretty good awareness of what he needed for the first down after making a couple of moves. As you check out the, looks like the middle finger that time, it's bleeding, and getting at attention now. But smart by Collins to get that first down.
End of one here in Baltimore in the 50th all-time meeting between the Steelers and the Ravens. Pittsburgh's got a 7-3 advantage on Baltimore. Second quarter action coming up. The NFL statistically very close in that first quarter, but a good sign for Pittsburgh. They have struggled in first quarters this season. Minus 36 entering action. They've been outstanding in second quarters. A plus 74. Ravens have the football, a first down just across the 35-yard line to start the second. Handoff, Collins, and he's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Mike Hilton pressing the line.
That's all going to be about pressure on the quarterback today. Joe Flacco. Skura gets beat by Hayward. That causes an incomplete pass to a wide-open wide receiver. But now Collins is going to pick up the linebacker, the protection perfect. Joe can step up into the pocket and find Chris Moore with a super catch down the middle.
Lamar Jackson is in. He's just off the line. Flacco under center on a 2nd and 12. They pitch it to him. Jackson, nothing there. Gets just across the 35. Terrell Edmonds and Cameron Hayward were not fooled. 2-yard pickup for the rookie out of Louisville.
You know, Jackson has 2 carries so far today for just 2 yards.
So Keith Butler's defense, they've been prepared for anything Baltimore has thrown their way so far. Watt is on the sideline on this 3rd and 10. Ravens trying to keep this drive alive. They go empty. Flacco from the gun. Tosses it underneath. And John Brown with a catch, but well short. 5 yards when they needed 10. Hit immediately by Sean Davis.
Yeah, you wonder about this play selection here, as Brown, the speedster, running a little hook route at 5 yards. And a quick reaction by Sean Davis, local guy, making a big play.
Out of Prince George's County, he had to go out and find 11 tickets for this one for family and friends.
Evan Washburn calls that PG County.
Yeah, it's PG County. I could have sounded local. I elected to go full name. Cook with the punt. Switzer on a bounce. He gets a running start and ducks out of bounds as he crossed the 25-yard line. Steelers get it back with a 7-3 lead on Baltimore. More second quarter action from M&T Bank Stadium. Tonight on CBS, some friends come into our life the exact moment we need them most. Watch an all-new God Friended Me tonight after 60 minutes, only CBS. Steelers have it 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Deep drop by Roethlisberger, and his pass is knocked down. Couldn't get it off free, and Chris Wormley was there for the Ravens.
Let's check out what Ben's doing to keep that broken index finger on his left hand out of harm's way. Just avoiding the ball at all costs, keeping that left finger off the ball. Started poorly at 1 for 4, has hit 6 of his last 9.
And right now the corners are Jimmy Smith and Marlon Humphrey. They're rotating with Brandon Carr in there as well for Baltimore. 2nd and long. Roethlisberger on the money. Hits McDonald. It's a first down. 13 yards. Smith with the tackle. NFL Today update. JB and Boomer.
Mahomes' options.
Well, it's Mahomes to Kelsey. It's kind of like Fouts to Winslow. He knows exactly where he wants to go with an 11-yard touchdown pass. That is his 28th touchdown pass of the year for Patrick Mahomes. They lead 14-3. Back to Ian and Dan back down in Baltimore.
It's like a video game. It is lethal. And Mahomes is picking and choosing the weapon he wants to throw to.
And entertaining, and it keeps all his receivers engaged.
First down for Pittsburgh. Roethlisberger. Another one was hit as he released it. I don't know if he just lost it or there was some contact on the D line with Brandon Williams. Owasso was over there for Baltimore. Now it's 2nd and 10. This may have come out of his hand a little funky.
Well, he just didn't have anybody in that part of the field. You could see he was trying to even bring it back as he tried to squeeze it. That's why it went straight down into the turf.
He has 40 pass attempts of 20 or more yards. That's 4th behind Mahomes, Trubisky, and Flacco. To the outside, good hands by Washington. So James Washington has been involved here. And Mike Tomlin has said, hey, we just want some consistency from that number 3 wide receiver position. 9-yard pickup.
Well, he's 5'11", but he has long arms, and he needs it on that play. That was a beautiful throw by Roethlisberger from the near hash all the way to the opposite sideline.
3rd and a long one here for Pittsburgh. Baltimore's defense, number 1 in total defense, number 1 in scoring defense. But last week it was humbling against Carolina. On 3rd and 1, Connor sticks the helmet down and drives for the first down, 3 yards to midfield.
Yeah, good double team by Pouncey and Foster right here, and then DeCastro, and right up the middle on the draw play goes Connor. No contest, right at the heart of the Raven defense.
They had a season high 168 yards rushing last week. They are 4-0-1 when they rush for at least 75 yards as a team.
Connor has 43 yards so far in just 5 carries.
Steelers are at midfield, 11-minute mark, 2nd quarter. Give it to Connor again. Tried the shake and bake, it didn't work. Kenny Young read it well, no gain on the play. We sent it downstairs to Evan Washburn.
Guys, just a quick point on what we're seeing from this muddle huddle from Pittsburgh. This is right out of the playbook of New Orleans and Carolina the last 2 weeks. How this defense has been exposed for Baltimore, plays over the middle and up-tempo offenses that affects their communication, guys.
Yeah, and Eric Weddle mentioned the fact that they see a lot of substitutions late. That affects their personnel. So teams have picked up on something and trying to handle the number 1 defense in the league. Roethlisberger, short toss. Connor could not completely break away from Judon, but did get extra yards after the catch and turns it into a 9-yard gain.
Yeah, it looked like Judon had him, but the power of Connor and the stiff arm after contact, he picks up about 4 more yards.
Well, we know how many battles through the years Suggs has had against the Steelers. That was not much of a battle against Villanueva. 3rd and 1 for Pittsburgh. Ryan Switzer is in, and he sets up to the side of Roethlisberger. Play clock down to 1. Floater, timing was off. Roethlisberger got rid of it, and it was too low. What do you do now? Suggs the pressure on Big Ben.
Well, Big Ben says huddle up offense. 4th and short. Steelers have been good all season, converting 3 out of 4 4th down conversion tries.
Now, the 3 options here, it's 4th and 1. You either go for it, you try a 59-yard field goal, that's not a legitimate option, or you punt it. And we saw what happened last time with Roethlisberger kicking it. Didn't really change the field. Steelers will use a timeout.
And you wonder with the broken finger if the quarterback sneak is not an option anymore.
4th and 1 coming up for Pittsburgh.
You're a craftsman guy. You have a lot of tools. Tools for everything you've done around the house. But there's the moment you realize your new project means new tools. When tool guys need new tools, they start with Lowe's, the new home of craftsmen. Shop Lowe's and get a Craftsman 20-volt cordless drill for $69.
That 30-second break brought to you by Lowe's. And the Steelers out of the timeout, a 4th and 1. 9:34 to go in this first half. Roethlisberger throws it. Complete. Smith-Schuster. New set of downs for the Steelers inside the Baltimore 35.
They're working against Jimmy Smith. Juju Smith-Schuster. Good jab step there. Ball right on time, right on target. And another Steeler first down. So many weapons for Roethlisberger in that situation.
Quiets the crowd. 1st and 10 at the 35 of Baltimore. 7-3 lead for the Steelers on a James Conner touchdown reception. Stutter step move by Conner. Conner still going. Spun down inside the 25. A miss by Jimmy Smith. Conner got enough for the first down. It's a 12-yard impressive run.
Yeah, and he's averaging 8 a carry right now. There's the block by DeCastro on Suggs. But then the moves. Cutting with a jump cut to the outside right there, and then straight up the field, making more tacklers miss.
Judon just limped off for Baltimore. Tyus Bowser will replace him at that linebacker position. 11th play of the drive for Pittsburgh. Roethlisberger buys a little time, guns it downfield, caught by Conner. First down, Steelers. It's like having another receiver out there for Big Ben.
Yeah, he's got him working on the rookie linebacker, Kenny Young. And it was a good job of keeping alive by Conner. As he was on a hook route, saw Ben in trouble, cuts to the middle of the field and takes it inside the 10.
1st and goal for the Steelers, handling Terrell Suggs on that last play.
Villanueva doing a good job keeping Suggs away.
Steelers trying to add to their lead. Quick hitter to the outside. Antonio Brown slips 2 tacklers and takes it in for the touchdown. Pittsburgh.
And he may have a cut finger. There's nothing wrong with his legs, though.
Just handling this Baltimore defense with some creative play calling and the talents of Antonio Brown. 12 plays, 75 yards for the Steelers. Tavon Young, one of the Ravens that whiffed on Brown. 6 straight games with a touchdown for Antonio Brown, his 9th of the season. Extra point. Boswell curls it through. Steelers take a 14-3 lead. Big Ben with his 2nd touchdown of the day in Baltimore.
More saving, more doing.
Back in Baltimore, birthplace of the Bambino. I'm sure the Ravens would love for Flacco to call a shot or 2 right now, but Antonio Brown is right behind Buddy Dial on that Steelers list. Consecutive games with a touchdown. Chris Moore emerging and then tackled along the sideline short of the 40-yard line. As part of the NFL Salute to Service initiative, last week the Ravens hosted a Pros versus G.I. Joes video gaming event. There, members of the team played games against active duty military members. Amazing how technology can bring us closer together. Ravens, the offense quiet. 3 points. 113 yards, 7:12 to go in this first half. They're in a hole. Play action. Flacco steps, throws a deep ball, sideline. John Brown flagged down. He had Edmonds, the youngster, back there. Edmonds and Davis having a conversation after the penalty marker.
Pass interference. Defense, number 34. The ball replaced at the spot of the foul, automatic first down.
Hey, remember the first game between these two, Edmonds was beat by John Brown for a 71-yarder. That clearly pass interference. That turns into a 33-yard gain for the Ravens, something they needed after that nice kickoff return by Chris Moore.
And Mike Tomlin told us, hey, we really like Edmonds, but he's played way too much because of the injury to Morgan Burnett. They're easing Burnett into things, using him a little bit more at linebacker. Flacco on a line, bobble, and a grab by Andrews. Excellent concentration, matched up with the corner Hayden. 9 yards. NFL Today update. JB and Boomer.
Little trickeration, Boom.
JB, I love doing highlights that feature Curtis Samuel right here, double reverse. Look at this kid. Down the sideline he's going to go, cuts against the grain. Just basically running through the Tampa Bay Buccaneer defense for a touchdown. The Erasmus Hall product scores a touchdown. They lead 21-7. You know who else went to Erasmus Hall High School?
Yes, Ian's dad, Mr. Eagle.
That's right.
Matter of fact, let's talk it back and take it back to Mr. Eagle.
Yeah, Brooklyn proud, guys. Thank you so much. Trickeration, Lamar Jackson carries it himself for a first down.
Yeah, those trick plays take a long time, don't they?
They do. It develops. You got to stick with it. We're going to hit the 6-minute mark of the second quarter. New set of downs for Baltimore. Flacco, play fake, rushes on. Flacco throws, extending, incomplete. He had Crabtree open. Golden opportunity for the Ravens, and they come up empty.
Crabtree with a good route here to get by Sensabaugh, and just unable as he hits the ground to maintain possession. It looked like that ball may have been tipped at the line of scrimmage, something that happens to Flacco a lot. I'm sure Crabtree would like to have another shot at that one.
And now pistol formation with Flacco at wide receiver. Collins, the cut, spun down inside the 5 by John Bostic for Pittsburgh.
Now here's the option play. Good design here, as well as you've got a lead blocker in Hayden Hurst. And Watt going after the quarterback. Good read that time by Jackson.
It's 3rd and 2 for Baltimore. Jackson again will take the snap. Fake it. Jackson could not get to the edge. Mike Hilton makes the play for Pittsburgh, and it's 4th down.
Great play by Mike Hilton. But the Steelers aren't playing the pass at all. They are crowding the line of scrimmage and just waiting for Jackson to come out after the ball fake.
So they keep Jackson in on back-to-back plays. They don't get the first down. And it sets up Justin Tucker for another short field goal attempt. Made one from 23 yards away. This will be the same exact distance for Baltimore. Tucker knocks it through. Ravens cut into a Pittsburgh lead, but again can't produce a touchdown. 14-6 Steelers.
It isn't a
Thursday.
We asked Joe Flacco about Lamar Jackson. He said, I like the way that we're using him. It's helped keep teams off balance, and I like it, especially in the red zone, but it has not worked today in the red zone, Dan.
No, it hasn't, and it's like the Steelers, they're going to play, obviously, the run when Jackson's in it. Until he establishes himself as a threat throwing the ball, they're going to have trouble.
Okay, a flashback. Super Bowl 35. The Ravens and the Giants. Baltimore with one of the greatest defensive performances in Super Bowl history. 4 interceptions, including a pick 6. Giants got on the board with a Ron Dixon kickoff return for a touchdown, but on the ensuing kick, Jermaine Lewis returned the favor. And the Ravens with their first Super Bowl win. That game was on CBS. This year's Super Bowl, number 53, on CBS, February 3rd in Atlanta. Steelers 14-6 lead on Baltimore. 4:37 to go in the first half. Jalen Samuels, rookie out of NC State, in the backfield for Pittsburgh. They protect Roethlisberger. And that rainbow was too high for Antonio Brown, matched up with Brandon Carr. Incomplete.
Now Brandon Carr, the Iron Man of this Ravens secondary, played against Antonio Brown numerous times, and he read that out route all the way, forcing Roethlisberger to sail it wide.
Well, Carr's always been a physical corner with Kansas City and Dallas, good size. And so far, Brown with 2 catches, 17 yards, and a touchdown. 2nd and 10. Roethlisberger steps up, looks and throws underneath to Antonio Brown. And a modest gain. Eric Weddle with a tackle. 3rd and short now for Pittsburgh.
A really important tackle there at that time by Weddle, because Antonio Brown, after the catch, is so dangerous. And that's a dangerous throw and a big hit on Roethlisberger.
Yep. He got ridden down to the turf by Owasso. 3rd and 2. Toss it to Switzer. First down, Steelers. Brian Switzer sets up perfectly to move the chains. 5 yards. Let's go downstairs. Evan Washburn.
Well, guys, we've seen the corners for the Ravens rotate, whether it be Jimmy Smith, Brandon Carr, or Marlon Humphrey. Humphrey's currently on the sideline. Does have a pad on his right hip. I'm told he is available, but does not have his helmet. So as this drive extends, something to keep an eye on.
And Smith has had some struggles this season, coming back from injuries himself. Multiple injuries, but the most recent, the torn Achilles. Roethlisberger. Work it to Switzer again. Little shove in the back, but still turns it into a 3-yard pickup through the air. Clock is moving. We approach 3 minutes to go in this first half. Steelers 14, Baltimore 6. Pittsburgh trying to improve to 5-2-1 on the season. Who would have thought after that first meeting that this is where we'd be in the AFC North a month later?
I'm sure that Steeler fans didn't think that. That was a shellacking.
Had time of possession in that first meeting. 35 minutes for Baltimore. Dime package here for the Ravens. Switzer again on the field. Fake it. Roethlisberger throws it. Tremendous grab by Brown, but he was out of bounds with a flag down.
He caught it with his left hand, one-handed. Well out of bounds, but still just gives you an idea just how good he is, as if he needed him.
Holding. Defense, number 41. It's a 5-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
It is Anthony Levine on the hold. First penalty against the Ravens in this first half. Yeah, that's ridiculous. And the Steelers get the first down after the defensive holding call. Steelers, they've been the most penalized team in the NFL this season, but just 2 penalties in the first half against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, in a rivalry game like this, penalties can just be so critical, as that one was to keep this drive going.
Roethlisberger pump out of the pocket. Roethlisberger. He's got Judon there, and he took a shot from Carr as well. The scramble for 2. Steelers in no hurry here. And this thing could wind down to the 2-minute warning.
Well, Ben's got a broken left index finger, but he sticks it right into the face of Judon. You might want to reconsider that move.
At least for the short term. 2 minutes to play. First half in Baltimore. Steelers on top of the Ravens.
And by Progressive Insurance, handing off big savings to you.
Coming up, Verizon Halftime Report. JB, Phil, Nate, Boomer, Coach Cower, latest NFL scores and highlights. All coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. Steelers, the only team in the NFL that has not trailed at halftime this season. Remember, they'll get the football to start the third quarter as well. Ravens have not played well when trailing at the break. 0-10 since the start of last season. Roethlisberger is on time. Juju Smith-Schuster, and he dropped it. A rare drop as he was trying to run before he caught it.
Yeah, that's the Cardinals' sin here, because he had room too. Never quite controlled the ball. His hands are kind of awkward there as the ball comes right to his face mask, and he could never tuck the ball away. This play here is critical for Baltimore because of what you talked about, the fact the Steelers get the second half kickoff after deferring.
3rd and 7. Crowd is revved up. from the gun. Roethlisberger hit. Incomplete. Judon, the pressure. Washington, the intended receiver. Steelers will punt.
Number 99 is Judon as he moves to the inside. Really a good move that time with good speed, looking like a running back, finding the hole on that offensive line and forcing that incompletion.
27 sacks, number 1 in the NFL, but a lot of that damage was in one game, a franchise record 11 against Tennessee in week 6. Didn't have a sack last week against Carolina. High punt. Cyrus Jones handles it from Berry, 36 yards. We'll come back in 30 seconds after this from Pizza Hut.
We're more than just $7.99 large 2-topping pizza delivered. We're lining up in your favorite spot for the game. No one out-pizzas the Hut. We're more than just $5 medium 1-topping pizzas. Stuffed garlic knots, breadsticks, bone-out wings, pasta, and new Cinnabon mini rolls. We're the $5 lineup with the best sides for your pizza.
$5 each.
Choose 2 or more, $5 each. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Now, there's no doubt the Ravens have faced a higher level of competition in recent weeks. But the offense has looked flat here for Baltimore. Trying to get something going. Willie Snead spins his way across the 40. 26-yard reception. Hit by Sean Davis.
And this is a momentum-building play to start the drive. Good pass by Flacco, and Snead unwilling to go down on first contact.
A minute 15 to go. Flacco, incomplete. John Brown, a low throw, and Joe Hayden made sure that Brown didn't do any damage.
Yeah, Hayden was right in his hip pocket. Even if Brown had made that catch, he wasn't going to get a whole lot. Ravens with 2 timeouts. Plenty of time for an experienced quarterback like Flacco.
Ravens have gone 33-15 at home against AFC North competition since realignment in 2002. And they've got 5 of their 8 remaining games here at M&T Bank. But they need to get it rolling at some point. Flag down.
False start. Offense. Number 71. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Luminor, the guilty party. Verizon halftime report coming up. JB and the rest of the gang in New York. Scores and highlights all coming up on the Verizon halftime report.
Yeah, Luminor making his first career start at left tackle for Ronnie Stanley.
Flacco flings it to Buck Allen. Brought down to the 40-yard line by Hayden. May have stepped out before that, and he did. So 3 yards on the pass play. 1:08 to play, first half. Luminor's in his second year. He was let go, re-signed to the practice squad out of Texas A&M. Originally from London, so had a rugby and cricket background.
Really?
Yeah, you say. I do. Came to the U.S. at the age of 14. 3rd and 12. Flacco, flag down, dump off underneath to Allen.
They're going to get the cricket player for holding. Bud Dupree with pressure.
Is there holding in cricket?
Well, there is today.
Offense, number 71. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is 4th down.
So they'll keep the result. Yeah, he grabbed a hold of Bud Dupree, who looped around to get to Flacco, and then Tuitt got him as he released it. So Baltimore can't do anything with that possession. The Steelers actually have some time to work with here and 2 timeouts. Cook boots it. Switzer backpedaling. Catches it at the 7-yard line. Switzer brought down to the 15. 52-yard punt, 8-yard return. Levine on special teams makes the tackle. Well, the QBs, they've gone head-to-head for so many years now. Roethlisberger, 16 of 26, 138 yards, 2 touchdowns. Flacco, 9 of 16 for 112. And, of course, no touchdowns for Baltimore in this first half.
I thought it was interesting talking to Ben about how the Steelers have found their rhythm as of late. He feels that the better the passing game has worked early in games as it has today, the stronger that Connor becomes, because the defense is aware of Antonio Brown in this pass offense. So a lot of big lanes have opened up for Connor as of late.
He also mentioned he doesn't care about the stats. He doesn't look at them. He doesn't care about the rankings. It's just all about being good on third down, time of possession, red zone. Roethlisberger. That pass is handled by Vance McDonald, and then the ball came free, and the Ravens have it. Touchdown! Tavon Young! What a sequence! The officials huddle up.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to be a touchdown. I think McDonald was down before Young could rip the ball out, but still a heads-up play by Tavon Young.
Ben Roethlisberger is trying to get in on that conversation. So McDonald.
The ruling on the field.
Yeah, the knee is down.
An interception. Catch. We will review the previous play.
Well, that didn't happen. The ball then came out. If anything, you want to rule it a fumble, but his knee was clearly down when he still had possession. He rolled over, and then the ball popped loose.
I'm not sure who saw that this was an interception. Incompletion, perhaps. Certainly not a fumble.
So you've seen every angle on it. And the timing, just on the live look, McDonald went down. You just assume the play is over, and no whistle had blown. Our rules analyst, Gene Steratore, joining us now. Gene, what'd you see on that play?
I think we've got it down by contact. Now remember, though, the result of this play is a touchdown, which is a stopped clock. If they reverse this back to complete down by contact in the field of play, then we have a potential 10-second runoff. I don't think Pittsburgh uses a timeout right now to avoid the 10 seconds, because of where they are on the field. But we could have a possible 10-second runoff now because that player will be ruled down by contact in the field of play.
Thank you, Gene. It was a terrific grab by McDonald, whose right knee was clearly down, and then the ball popped loose as he rolled to the ground. And right now, Craig Rolstad with a headset on, taking another look.
And Mike Tomlin is incensed. He was out on the field inside the 20-yard line.
Well, we saw when the call was made on the field, Tomlin reacted and was trying to get an audience with the officials. And Mike's still chatting.
It'd be tough to argue with a guy with mirrored sunglasses.
You see yourself in the reflection?
Yes.
So the ruling on the field was a touchdown for Baltimore.
Well, if this is a touchdown for Baltimore, I'll eat those sunglasses.
You sure you want to make that statement?
Absolutely.
You like it crunchy?
I do.
They had to sort through a few different things, and as Gene mentioned to us, whether or not there would be a 10-second runoff.
After reviewing the play, the runner caught the football, was down by contact at the 15.5-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 9 at the 15.5-yard line. Timer, please reset the game clock to 43 seconds. And by rule, we must run 10 seconds. So the game clock should read 33 seconds.
Well, there you go. That's exactly what Gene laid out. And the fact of the matter is Pittsburgh gets penalized for the officials getting it wrong. That's the unfortunate part.
Doesn't make a whole lot of sense, does it?
So no touchdown for Baltimore. Steelers avoid that. But now they have 10 less seconds to work with on a 1-yard catch. 2nd and 9, Roethlisberger. That ball was free, but Mosley could not get under it for a clean pick. Incomplete.
Well, Judon makes the play there, getting in the way of that throw, and that caused it to go off the hands of Connor and almost into the hands of Mosley.
Maybe if you're Pittsburgh at some point, you say, hey,
take a knee.
Yeah.
Let's go to the locker room.
2 odd plays back-to-back. The Baltimore does have 2 timeouts remaining. It's a 3rd and 9 for the Steelers. More conservative to Connor, bounces to the outside, and Connor works his way to the marker. And he gave out a little punishment to Carr. First down, Pittsburgh. 8 carries, 65 yards for Connor. 5 catches, 42 yards. They need a good 40 yards here to get into Boswell range. 19 seconds left. They toss it. Vance McDonald ruled incomplete. So now McDonald's been involved in 2 odd plays.
We got to tell McDonald to hang on to the ball.
We know the damage McDonald can do once he has the football, but you got to have it.
Going on the field is an incomplete pass.
They never quite had it.
No, I think he's looking around to punish somebody, namely Tony Jefferson.
You know, one of these fluke plays could go the other way, and now you're staring at points on the scoreboard. The Steelers walking on that edge. Connor. And he's dropped. Picks up 5 yards, and that will do it for this first half. Steelers have to settle for the 14-6 lead. For a Pittsburgh team that is trying to win its 4th in a row, the Ravens are attempting to get out of a funk. Pittsburgh will have the football to start the second half. Halftime is next after these first half highlights from Verizon and a word from your local station.
Daryl. Hey, Daryl.
Hey.
Hey, how much would you pay for something you don't want?
Nothing. Is this a test?
No. Question 2. Do you like getting stuff you like for free?
Yes, this feels like a test.
It's not. It's just why Verizon lets everyone in your family get the unlimited plan they need without paying for stuff they don't. And why Verizon gets you 6 months of free Apple Music.
Did I pass?
How to test.
Getting you ready for the start of the third quarter here in Baltimore. Steelers 14, the Ravens 6. Time now for the Downey unstoppable moment.
And again, it's Ben Roethlisberger buying extra time in the pocket in a smart move by his tailback, James Conner, finding the open spot. This led to the Steelers' second touchdown of the first half.
Back here in the broadcast booth, Ian Eagle along with Hall of Famer Dan Fouts. Evan Washburn down on the sideline. Steelers will have the football to start this third quarter. For Baltimore, we know how crucial this game is. Lamar Jackson, how they're using him, why they're using him. What's been your impression?
Well, I think it takes away from the rhythm of the offense, number one. They have enough problems protecting Flacco in the pocket with this makeshift offensive line. And also for the starting quarterback to have to stand out there as a decoy, and not much of a decoy because they're never going to throw him the ball or anything. It just messes with his confidence. And you can see the desperation at times in the passing game of the Ravens. And the running game with Jackson isn't working because he is no threat throwing the ball at this point.
And Flacco had a couple of opportunities at touchdowns. One to Jackson, didn't see him, and then the other to Crabtree. Misfired on that pass. Let's check in with Evan Washburn.
Well, Mike Tomlin was really pleased in how they handled Lamar Jackson and Joe Flacco in the red zone, holding them to field goals. He said that was the biggest priority coming into this game and will be in the second half. And guys, as for Ben Roethlisberger, no sacks allowed in that first half, 4 quarterback hits. But as that first half ended, he looked to be in discomfort, and most notably, we know that broken left index finger. He was shaking it, something to keep an eye on. As for John Harbaugh, he was not available for comment, guys.
All right, Evan, touchback, and the Steelers have it at the 25 to open up this second half. 14-6 lead, touchdown from Connor and Brown, both on passes from Roethlisberger. Connor picks his way for 4, hit by Smith and Owasso. In that first half, 212 total yards for Pittsburgh, 15 first downs, and getting it done in the red zone opposed to what Baltimore has done. Steelers are averaging 427.7 yards per game during the 3-game winning streak. They've upped their scoring average to 29.1, which is 5th in the NFL. Single setback Connor on 2nd and 6. Play action. Roethlisberger. Perfectly placed to Juju Smith-Schuster, and he was hit at the end of the play.
Yeah,
flagged out.
Yeah, I think Weddle will get a targeting penalty here.
Smith-Schuster went down for a moment.
We got a flag at the line of scrimmage as well, so we may have offsetting penalties, but Smith-Schuster may be escorted to the sideline after that hit. Training staff coming out.
There are 2 markers at the line of scrimmage.
There are 2 fouls on the play, 1 on each team. Holding, offense, number 81. Personal foul, hit on defenseless receiver, defense, number 32. Those penalties offset, replay, 2nd down.
This is a soft toss, and there's the hit by Weddle. I'm not sure what a defender's supposed to do here. Trying to make a play to break up the ball. And fortunately for Weddle and the Ravens, Jesse James was holding.
Double tight end set on a 2nd and 6. Off play action, Roethlisberger is offline. Looking for Antonio Brown, incomplete, 3rd and 6. Marlon Humphrey with the coverage for Baltimore.
And a good sign to see Marlon Humphrey back in the ball game. Such a valuable member of this secondary, especially with the struggles that Jimmy Smith has had coming off that Achilles injury.
Well, Ben Roethlisberger honoring the victims of the horrific act in Pittsburgh with a Jewish star on the shoes of that Steelers quarterback. On 3rd and 6. He hits Switzer for a 1st down. Anthony Levine, the hit, 13 yards on the hookup.
Yeah, he's got 3 catches in the ball game today, and he's only had 13 coming into today's game, but look at how smartly he settles between the zone coverages of the Ravens there, and Ben with a perfect strike.
Joe Switzer's had a role in this offense, 3 catches, 21 yards. Roethlisberger has tossed the football 31 times today. Back to the ground game. Connor wrapped up at the 45 after the gain of 3. Pierce and Mosley combined to bring him down.
That was a real nice job by Pierce battling against Marquise Pouncey. Pierce, another one of those 6-foot, 340-pounders. And he'll get a break on the sideline.
Ravens were happy to get out of October, 3-13 in the month of October the last 4 seasons. They've been much better in November. What that means year to year, it's really hard to quantify. 2nd and 7. Knocked down. Roethlisberger thought he could get it over Judon.
Yeah, Judon at 6'3" and very athletic. Watch 99 get up in the air here. He's unblocked. If he makes that catch, I got to figure he's going to take it to the house. Right through his hands. Another opportunity for Baltimore. Wasted.
You feel like they're knocking on the door, though, defensively.
They're getting closer and closer.
Can one of these plays swing the game for the Ravens? They need something. A jolt. Steelers were going to run out of time.
First charge timeout. Pittsburgh.
They use a timeout at the 12:21 mark of the third. Well, CBS's Super Bowl season continues next Sunday. Doubleheader action. Tom Brady drives New England into Tennessee. We'll be there for that one. Then, NFC West showdown. Seattle tries to gain some ground on the division-leading Rams. The day kicks off with the NFL Today at 12 Eastern on CBS. Juju Smith-Schuster back on the field for Pittsburgh. 3rd and 7 after taking that shot from Weddle. Five receivers set for the Steelers. Roethlisberger, soft toss to Brown. First down, Pittsburgh into Baltimore territory at the 46. Humphrey and Jefferson collaborate on the stop.
Well, Ben reads the blitz coming this time, and he finds exactly what he needs is Antonio Brown, and Brown knowing he needs to get up the field and get that first down. Again, just a little bit of a rub route there as James Washington helps out Antonio Brown.
Steelers are now 6 out of 9 on 3rd down conversions. This drive continues for Pittsburgh, and it's Conner. James Conner, even when there's not much of a hole, he can find something to do with it. Turns it into a 5-yard pickup as Villanueva and McDonald had key blocks. We check in with Evan.
Well, I do mention Juju Smith-Schuster back out on the field, but it is worth documenting. He did come back to the tent here, went through the concussion protocol, and passed it. He actually wanted to get out of the tent a little bit quicker. He said to me, "You need to get back out on the field." I said, "You got to hang there until somebody lets you go."
So Evans consulting?
I guess so. I didn't realize that was on the resume. Smith-Schuster said the Baltimore secondary is the best he's faced. Safeties are outstanding. They disguise a lot. Really smart group. Conner. Physical run for Conner. 5 yards and a first down. Hit by Tavon Young.
Yeah, he's continuing to make the first tackler miss. That time Owasso had him in the backfield, and he just bounced off those big thighs of Conner and picks up that first down again.
Randy Fichtner in his first year as the offensive coordinator. Things are really clicking right now for the Steelers. Only have the 14 points, but feels like they've controlled things with their offense. Critical 3rd downs, keeping drives going. Roethlisberger sets and throws, and it's on target to Vance McDonald. He secures this one, and he's got a first down at the 25. Over there was Brandon Carr for Baltimore. That covers 11 yards through the air.
Well, part of the dominance is the time of possession right now, over 7 minutes difference for the Steelers. And that just really makes the opposing quarterback a little antsy on the sidelines. Maybe thinking, taking more chances when they get the ball on offense, but they've got to get the ball on offense.
And even drives that have not ended in points, they've been longer drives, 7 plays or more for Pittsburgh, other than the final drive of that first half. Roethlisberger, a flip to Conner. He's dropped just short of the 21 by Zach Sealer. 4 yards on a catch and run. And Zardarius Smith, a little bit slow getting up for Baltimore.
Well, he's got his sights set on Big Ben, but Roethlisberger knowing exactly where his outlet was, and that time Conner is the guy.
2nd and 6, Jalen Samuels in, so they give Conner a rest. 11th play of the drive. This is the opening drive of the second half. And we're going to go under the 9-minute mark. Roethlisberger, deep shot, incomplete, caught by the fan in the front row off the ricochet.
I think we got to review that then. Great job by Tavon Young, number 25, looking right back into the sun. They never had possession.
Yeah. Incomplete. Yeah, well done. Working the shades. Is that guy from Top Gun? Tom Cruise look. 3rd and 6. Roethlisberger puts it exactly where it has to be. Juju Smith-Schuster, first down.
Well, the timing is unbeatable here. A sharp route and then away from the defender, Young, but the timing, 3 steps back and letting it rip.
What did Smith-Schuster tell us? Ben tells him, you need to look at me. 10 to 12 yards on your route. We have to make sure we're on the same page. So Juju said, I tried to do that for him. When we asked Ben about that with Antonio Brown, he said, no, he never looks. Connor trying to turn the corner. He's slammed down by Humphrey. First round pick from 2017, 16th overall pick. Won a national title with Alabama, has all the physical tools.
And Connor was asking for a horse collar tackle. Looked like Humphrey had his hand inside the shoulder pads of Connor on the front of the jersey. Normally that penalty is called and he's grabbed from behind.
We're talking about half the quarter right now, Dan, that Pittsburgh has controlled the football. And much to the dismay of Wink Martindale, the defensive coordinator for Baltimore. Second and 7. Roethlisberger slings it. And Connor comes up short. Hit down low by Tony Jefferson. He just saved the touchdown, but the Steelers are knocking on the door.
Well, the mobility of Ben and knowing exactly where Connor is at all times. That's now 8 catches for James Conner. Leads all receivers by far.
First and goal for Pittsburgh. 2 tight ends. The official runs in there. He's checking with Zadarius Smith. Now we're set. First and goal from the 1. Roethlisberger bulldozes for the touchdown. Big Ben for 6.
Yeah, he extended. Question is, were his knees down before he could reach across the goal line? The celebration begins. This is a good job by Ben getting in behind the anchor, Matt Filer there, number 71. DeCastro with a good block. McDonald pushing, and then from behind you get Smith-Schuster and Connor. How about a 75-yard drive? 15 plays, 8:14 off the clock.
2 touchdowns through the air, 1 on the ground for Roethlisberger. And just awaiting confirmation, currently 20-6 Pittsburgh. It's been confirmed. Steelers playing in their 3rd straight divisional game, and the extra point, no good. 4th time this season Boswell has missed a point after. Pittsburgh 20. Ravens 6. Back to Baltimore in a moment.
Pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of NFL Productions is prohibited.
You have the euphoria of a touchdown balanced by the disappointment of a missed extra point, and it's happened 4 times this season. Boswell now tied for the most missed PATs in the NFL. You go back. Week 2, it happened against Kansas City. The following week, the Steelers were at Tampa Bay. That's a miss. And then week 5 versus Atlanta. Boswell, in his 4th year in the NFL, made the Pro Bowl last season. Tack on another to the low light reel.
And they all missed in the same direction, wide right.
Steelers trail 20-6. Flacco on first down throws. Complete. He hooks up with his tight end, Hayden Hurst.
And this is what the Ravens have to do. Put the game in Flacco's hands. Give him some protection and let these young tight ends work on linebackers. Hurst gets behind Bostic for a huge gain to start the drive. And a confidence builder for this offense that needs it.
Rookie out of South Carolina, former baseball player with the Pirates system. Snead the catch. And the former Saint is wrestled out of bounds by Hayden. 6-yard pickup through the air.
That's the key. On first down, picking up 6. Doesn't seem like much, but brings up at 2nd and 4, where you have a lot of different options that you can work with. But it's good rhythm so far in these first 2 drives, first 2 plays of this drive.
And quickly into Pittsburgh territory. Flacco, protection holds up. Checks it down to Snead. Snead took a shot. T.J. Watt, 6 yards and good enough for another Baltimore first down.
Yeah, working against the zone coverage of the Steelers. And a smart receiver just finding a dead spot.
Now the Ravens working quickly here. Flacco pats the ball and tosses it to Snead. Good hands on the outside, but not much there. Mike Hilton working the perimeter, limiting Snead to a 2-yard gain.
You know, with all the problems with the substitutions and the young offensive tackles, Illuminor and Brown, Flacco has not been sacked today. And now he's going to be a wide receiver. He won't get sacked out there either.
So again, they go with Jackson, even though things are going well on this drive. Jackson will throw it. It's complete to Crabtree. So finally a threat to throw. And he converts to Crabtree for a first down, 12 yards.
Yeah, kind of a unusual formation that time, but a heck of a throw by Jackson. And that will give the Steelers food for thought.
So Jackson snaps it to Crabtree. They move the chains inside the 30. Flacco flings it to the outside and Snead. Touchdown by Hilton. So much better rhythm here for Baltimore on offense, 5 yards. But now getting to that question, which is what do they do as they get closer to the goal line? They have not been able to cash in. Brown was handling Watt. That's a whole lot of Orlando on top of TJ.
That's a whole state of Florida.
It is. 2nd and 5. Flacco perfect on the drive until that pass bounced it to Crabtree. Now 3rd and 5 for Baltimore.
As a good pass rush that time by the Steelers, although they did not sack Flacco. Dupree gets in there and forces that incompletion.
So even though they have not given up sacks, Illuminor is having problems on that left side, and it's a tall order. 3rd and 5. Flacco, protection is there initially, flag down. Flacco throws it. Catching a slam down on John Brown. Joe Hayden with a defensive play, but the penalty marker at the 31.
And going to get the center, Matt Skura, like he was holding on T.J. Watt.
It's up. Craig Rolstad hasn't been as busy as we thought he would be.
Illegal hands to the face. Defense, number 97. That penalty's declined. The result of the play is a first down.
Wow. Cameron Hayward.
Yeah, Skura was blocking on Hayward, but Hayward, actually it's on Lewis. He puts his left hand right into the grill of Alex Lewis. Huge penalty against the Steelers.
So they decline the 6-yard play. They take the penalty, and the clock is moving with 3.5 to go in the 3rd quarter. Jackson is in there, setting up behind Flacco. They've settled for field goals in their 2 trips to the red zone.
Hold up. Ready?
Jackson goes in motion, and Flacco just skies it over his head. Hilton had it covered.
Now that was the play that they missed early in the game, on the first drive, when Jackson came out of the backfield and was wide open on the goal line. Give Mike Hilton and Keith Butler credit for not allowing that to happen again and forcing the incompletion.
Ravens did make a deal this week. They acquired running back Ty Montgomery from Green Bay for a 2020 7th-round pick, but Montgomery inactive for Baltimore.
An uncovered receiver, Mark Andrews.
Flacco. A shot to the end zone, knocked away by Edmonds. Mark Andrews, the intended target. And it's 3rd and 10.
Edmonds was late coming over. There's a heck of a play by Edmonds.
Did Flacco make the wrong read? He had Buck Allen on that possession, and he tossed it to Andrews in the corner of the end zone. 3rd and 10. Flacco slings it. End zone. Incomplete with a flag down. A pair of them. Andrews and Morgan Burnett matched up.
Yeah, this will put the ball on the 1-yard line as Burnett's going to get called for the pass interference.
Pass interference. Defense, number 42. The penalty occurred at the 1-yard line. First down.
There's the contact before the ball gets there. Hits him right in the face. Easy call.
First and goal at the 1. 3 tight ends. Ricard in front of Collins. Give it to Collins. Bouncing to the outside. Collins takes it in. Touchdown, Baltimore.
Yeah, good job by the fullback, Patrick Ricard. Watch him right here as he's going to seal the edge and allow the bounce out. Takes care of Sean Davis. And in without contact.
And the Ravens are in this game thanks to an 11-play, 75-yard drive. It took 3 minutes and 50 seconds. The extra point from Justin Tucker could make it a 7-point game.
And on that 11-play drive, that touchdown run, the only run on the whole series for the Ravens.
20-13 Steelers.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Dell and the XPS 13 with Dell Cinema. USAA, official NFL salute to service partner. And by Land Rover, above and beyond.
Yeah, we've got a ball game in Baltimore. The missed extra point by Boswell. The Baltimore touchdown has cut it to 7 with 2:56 to play in the 3rd. Tucker will kick it off. Switzer, the return man for Pittsburgh. Booming kick coming out to the 25.
Now take a look at how the Ravens have defended Antonio Brown in the red zone and also on some key 3rd downs. They're very conscious of doubling him. And then a concerted effort by the Steelers to get him the ball. He makes 2 miss and walks into the end zone. But 4 catches, just 34 yards, and that score. Brown's longest reception today, just 11 yards.
Just under 3 minutes to go in the 3rd. Steelers with the football. And it's Samuels on a stop-and-go run for 2.5, 3. Michael Pierce will get credit for the tackle for Baltimore.
And I talked to Randy Fiechner about Jalen Samuels. He got him a couple of carries last week against the Browns. And he said the most important thing that Samuels did is he protected the ball and was cool about it. Ben went to him a couple of times, says, "How you doing?" He just smiled and says, "I'm okay, man."
He had 4 carries, 17 yards in that win over Cleveland. Stephen Ridley, the veteran, did not protect the ball, fumbled it. 2nd and 8. Roethlisberger underneath to Jesse James. And they swarm to the tight end. 2-yard pickup through the air. Jefferson and Kenny Young ranging over to make the play. And now 3rd down for the Steelers.
You can just see the change in the body language of the Ravens. The crowd is into it. They're back in the game, 7 points down. Big play for their defense to keep this momentum going.
Steelers are 7 out of 10 on 3rd down. This is a 3rd and 6. Huge play with 1:40 to go in the 3rd. Shotgun. Roethlisberger lets it fly. Coming back for the football. Incomplete. James Washington against Jimmy Smith. Smith holds up for Baltimore, and the Steelers will punt.
Now that's the difference between a rookie going against an 8-year veteran. Jimmy Smith, perfect coverage here on the outside. Late coming out of his break. He's complaining about being grabbed, but no flag, and 3 and out.
Jordan Berry will kick it. Cyrus Jones, the former Patriot, the return man. A high punt. Jones settles under it. Fair catch called for. They'll have it at the 29 after the 42-yard boot. Baltimore with the football and some momentum.
Let's take a selfie. Get in. Wait, scoot over.
Mississippi State looks to slow down the nation's top offense. Alabama, the SEC on CBS. 1:24 to play in the 3rd. Ravens get the football. They trail 20-13. Flacco from the gun. Steps up, throws on the move to Collins. Collins, the stutter step, a couple of them, and he's got a 1st down. He and Terrell Edmonds have some words with a flag thrown back at the 21. A pair of flags. Another one at the 24.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both by the offense. Holding, number 72, that penalty is declined. Holding, number 78, that penalty is accepted. 10 yards, replay, 1st down.
So the hold on Alex Lewis and Orlando Brown Jr. Back it up for Baltimore.
Well, here's Lewis, and here's Zeus Jr. And because Orlando Brown is the rookie, they're going to give him that holding on TJ Watt.
You think that's how it works?
It's seniority.
1st and 20. Flacco in a crowd. Flacco is devoured back at the 10. Vince Williams for Pittsburgh. A loss of 7 on the play.
Yeah, again, the problems protecting the quarterback. You can see Vince Williams just go right around Buck Allen there. And Dupree there as well to split that sack in half.
And the 1st sack from either team today. Although we've seen pressure. 30 seconds to go in the 3rd. Flacco sets up the screen. It's Buck Allen. Keeps the legs churning, but they will whistle him down as he crossed the 15-yard line.
A really good play by L.J. Fort. In man-to-man coverage on Allen, forced him back inside where his teammates were.
And time trickling away here at the end of the 3rd.
When whatever momentum the Ravens had was just stolen from them by this Pittsburgh defense.
4th quarter is coming up. 20-13. Steelers leading the Ravens. We'll return to Baltimore after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS, the home of Super Bowl. This storied rivalry within the AFC North. Pittsburgh and Baltimore meeting for the 50th time today. 3rd and 23. Flacco hits his man, Willie Snead, trying to catch and curl for the 1st down. He's not even close. Morgan Burnett with the tackle. Baltimore will punt as we start this 4th quarter.
Yeah, the pass protection problems that you anticipated with this offensive line with 2 new starters really was evident on that last series of plays for the Ravens with holding and then a sack.
You know, when we asked Mike Tomlin about this matchup, he said, yeah, I know Baltimore is in a little bit of a desperate situation. There's always desperation when you play in this division. Flags down as Switzer tries to spin out of trouble. And he's buried at the 27-yard line. And Tomlin felt.
During the kick, holding. Receiving team, number 88. That's a 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down.
The continuity and coaches and players when you play Baltimore and you play Cincinnati. Harbaugh's been around forever. Marvin Lewis has been around forever. Obviously Flacco, Andy Dalton, A.J. Green. The players have remained a part of the matchup. Ben Roethlisberger for Pittsburgh. So that sense of familiarity every year pops up again.
But you have to be on your game because there are no secrets in these rivalries. I mean, they're even exchanging jerseys after ball games, as Roethlisberger and Suggs have done, which is unheard of in my era.
Really? You never got Elway's jersey?
We only had one jersey all year. We couldn't be giving it away.
You had to keep it. First minute of play in this fourth quarter. Give is to Connor. Connor glides after the cut to the 21-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup for Pittsburgh. A lot of history here. It's just going off the Roethlisberger-Flacco matchup. That's now tied with Sonny Jurgensen and Norm Snead for the most meetings between starting quarterbacks. Jim Kelly, Dan Marino 1, Drew Brees, Matt Ryan 2.
Sonny Jurgensen, one of my all-time favorites. He could really throw it.
2nd and 5 for the Steelers. They have a 7-point lead with possession here in the fourth. Going against the #1 ranked defense in the NFL. Roethlisberger throws. Brown is there for the catch. Flag down.
Yeah, he pushed off. He pushed off big time on Jimmy Smith. And right in front of the Raven bench. In fact, when he pushed off,
offense, number 84, the 10-yard penalty.
He almost lost his balance. Deep comeback route there. Good job by Smith. There's the push. There's the catch. And the flag's coming soon. Now it's time for the Ravens to really put pressure on this Steeler offense. Backed up as they are. Watch the Steelers to feature James Conner.
Can the Baltimore defense change the course of this game? 2nd and 15. Roethlisberger steps up. Roethlisberger running. Caught from behind by Smith. And Roethlisberger down.
Down on his right shoulder. Right down on his shoulder. With Smith at 270 pounds landing right on top of him. No penalty there because he's a runner on this play.
But there is a flag all the way back at the 2. Right now the concern is for Ben Roethlisberger.
No question.
Offense, number 78.
They're going to get Villanueva for holding, but that is really secondary right now. Watch Smith. Watch the right shoulder. It's going to take all of it right there.
Zadarius Smith, 6'4", 272 pounds. And Roethlisberger bracing himself. Yeah, Ben is one of those QBs that he'll take it right to the edge of the line to often throw it. This time he made the decision to continue with the run.
And you know the other thing, Ian, about shoulder pads, with quarterback shoulder pads, they're not much, okay? So they're not going to protect a quarterback all that much. They're really designed to allow you to throw the ball more than anything.
They're going to help Roethlisberger up. We'll step aside.
Daryl.
By Verizon. The best unlimited is on Verizon, America's most awarded network.
Roethlisberger on the Pittsburgh sideline. Joshua Dobbs in at quarterback for the Steelers. Dobbs to throw it. And hits his man. Dobbs connects. Juju Smith-Schuster with the grab.
Amazing, coming off the bench cold, the play fake, stepping into this one and fitting it into a zone defense in front of Weddle and Jefferson. Amazing, and amazing that number 7 is back out there.
22 yards on the hookup, and Roethlisberger is back in there. We'll get a report from Evan Washburn in a moment. First down for Pittsburgh on a 2nd and 20. Connor banged down after the gain of 1. Evan, what do you got?
Well, guys, what looked to be a severe injury is really just Ben getting the wind knocked out of him with all that body weight on top of him. As we saw, he spent a long time on the turf. He spent some time talking to head athletic trainer John Norwick and team doctor Jim Bradley. They checked that right shoulder, but there was a palpable and loud sigh of relief from Ben, and he's just been trying to catch his wind up until this point when he's come back in the game, guys.
All right, great stuff, Evan. 2nd and 9 for Pittsburgh. Roethlisberger pump. Deep ball, Roethlisberger down the sideline, a juggle by Jesse James. Carr tracks him down. Big gain through the air.
Great move by Jesse James. It's an out and up move. And how about, I guess that right shoulder's okay.
Yeah.
What a beautiful throw, right on the numbers. 51 yards, a career long now for Jesse James as Brandon Carr bites and gets beat. Keeping your eye on the ball.
Ben likes it. First down at the Baltimore 21. Shotgun. It's a give to Connor. Hits that edge and gets tackled down low by Owasso. 2-yard gain on the veer by Connor.
Yeah, the mobility of Marquise Pouncey from the center position and Castro getting out in front. But a good job by the Ravens to string it to the sidelines and limit Connor to 2 yards.
You know, this roller coaster ride, there's a moment where you think Baltimore has knocked Ben Roethlisberger out of the game. Dobbs comes in, tosses a first down pass down the field, and then Ben trots back onto the field.
That might have been the play of the game. The Dobbs pass.
2nd and 8. Roethlisberger sets the feet, throws to the end zone, and Brown got his hand on it. It's incomplete. Brandon Carr in coverage for Baltimore.
It's a back shoulder throw. And you can see the adjustment here, but the inability to really get up in the air. He just didn't have enough time to gather himself to go up for that and get 2 hands on it. Good coverage by Carr.
And now 3rd and 8. We know what the Steelers have done today in the red zone. Perfect.
7 of 11 on 3rd downs, too.
Roethlisberger pump. Roethlisberger buys time, throws, connection made. Juju Smith-Schuster, first down, Steelers.
It's just amazing. We've seen this for years now out of Roethlisberger. And the way that he can work in the young receiver, Smith-Schuster, over the middle where he has a lot of options to go either way, finds a way to pick up a first down.
Dan, we got a stoppage here. Matthew Judon was shaken up on the play. 9:33 to go in the 4th. Matthew Judon now on the Baltimore sideline. Medical staff was having an extended conversation with him. Mike Tomlin's team now has a 1st and goal. They've run 64 plays compared to Baltimore's 44. Time of possession, there's an 11-minute difference. From the gun. Roethlisberger throws to the end zone. Broken up. Smith-Schuster, the intended target. Jimmy Smith makes the play defensively. Roethlisberger now 26 of 44 for 255 yards, 2 touchdowns.
And a good break on the ball by Jimmy Smith as he beat Smith-Schuster to the spot here.
Dan, that 51-yard pass play to Jesse James, it's the longest play against the Ravens defense this season. Second and goal. Roethlisberger on a give. Connor tries to zigzag. And he's hemmed in. C.J. Mosley for Baltimore.
Here's Mosley right here. Watch as he reads and then beats the block of DeCastro. Forces Connor back into the middle where Bowser and company are there to stop him. Huge third down coming up here.
Third and goal for Pittsburgh. 10th play of the drive. Shotgun. Roethlisberger delivers. Broken up. Antonio Brown, the receiver, and Jimmy Smith again makes the play for the Ravens.
Yeah, it looked like this ball is thrown just behind Antonio Brown a smidge, but there's no question where Ben was going with it.
So, field goal attempt. Chris Boswell from 29 yards away. 6 of 9 on the year. The kick is good. Steelers extend the lead 23-13. 8:26 to play in the fourth.
The Spark Cash Card from Capital One. And by KFC's Crispy Kernel Sandwich. It's finger-licking good.
And prior to the game today, as part of the NFL Salute to Service initiative, service members ran out of the tunnel with the team for player intros. We'll be seeing a lot of that around the NFL this month. Boswell after the field goal, giving Pittsburgh a 10-point lead. Kicks it off. Ravens will have it at the 25-yard line.
Such a memorable drive for the Steelers as Ben gets the wind knocked out of him by Smith. That brings in Josh Dobbs on 2nd and 20. He's going to find Smith-Schuster for 22 and a first down. Ben comes back, shows his shoulders okay. 51 yards to Jesse James. And the Steelers convert the field goal for that 10-point lead.
And converting a bunch of third downs, that has led to this time of possession in the half in favor of the Steelers. Flacco, low throw. Snead tried to grab it, but it hit the turf. Incomplete. Cody Sensabaugh over there. Pittsburgh in a dime package on first down. It's now 2nd and 10.
Now the Steelers are anticipating Flacco to put the ball in the air. The running game has not generated much in being down 10. Time's of the essence.
Flacco. Deep ball throw. Too far with a flag down. Crabtree with Sensabaugh.
Probably going to call this against Sensabaugh, pinning him to the sideline. But Crabtree not allowed to get anywhere near that ball by Sensabaugh.
Pass interference. Defense, number 24. The ball is placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic. First down.
Sensabaugh was a question mark with a toe injury.
And really, he doesn't need to make that contact there because he was running stride for stride with Crabtree, who is really not a burner.
Ben Roethlisberger said no way.
Jose.
I don't believe Jose was included.
19 yards.
First down for Baltimore. On the toss to the outside, Buck Allen. Out of bounds in Pittsburgh territory at the 48-yard line. A little bit shy of a first down. 8-yard gain on the catch and run.
This is where Buck Allen is so important for this Raven offense. 30 catches coming into today's game. And he's a perfect matchup against a linebacker.
2nd and 2 now for Baltimore. We are under 8 minutes to play in a 10-point game. Trying to put some pressure on Flacco. Offline on a pass to Hayden Hurst. So it's 3rd and 2 for Baltimore. The offense, 240 yards for Baltimore. The possessions today, the punt, field goal, punt, field goal, punt. Finally getting the touchdown on the Collins carry, and now finding themselves in a big spot, 3rd and 2. Collins for 3 and a first down.
And there's no question that you've got 4 downs now on every possession, trailing by 10.
The most rushing yards Collins has had in a game this season is 68. Collins has 35 here today. That's been a big part of the problem for Baltimore this season, the lack of balance. Flacco open over the middle is Andrews. First down Ravens. And Flacco laid it in there for 21 yards.
Well, the blitz doesn't get home on Flacco, so that makes him almost smile as he sees Andrews coming right down the middle on Sean Davis. At 6'6", we get a good look at Flacco's eyes.
First down, Flacco to the end zone. Incomplete. Andrews got tied up with Morgan Burnett. NFL Today update. So did a Boomer Esiason in New York.
AI and a wild one down in Carolina. Ryan Fitzpatrick right here to Adam Humphries. He's going to take it all the way down to the goal line, and this will be ruled a touchdown after further review. That's 21 unanswered points for Tampa Bay as they get closer, 35-28 to the Panthers. Ryan Fitzpatrick, 4 touchdown passes on the day.
Could there be some Fitzmagic? Steelers will take on Carolina on Thursday night at Heinz Field. Willie Snead the catch, immediately hit by Sean Davis. That covers 7 yards.
And again, because the Ravens would go for it on 4th down, they have a lot of different options as far as play calling is concerned here on 3rd down. They were successful on the last 3rd down with a handoff to Collins. He's on the sidelines now with Buck Allen in.
And remember, they're down 10, so they're going to have some decisions to make. They're going to need a touchdown and a field goal eventually. Flacco, ball sat there and caught. It's a clean catch for Buck Allen. Michael Crabtree was the target, and T.J. Watt drilled him.
And the ball bounces off the back of Watt. And Allen, off his shoelaces, makes the grab.
But a loss.
Yeah, here's that field goal you were talking about that they have to have. And who better to give it to him than Tucker?
This will be a 37-yard attempt with 5.5 to go on the 4th. Tucker's kick. He nails it. So 23-16. It's back to a 7-point game in the 4th quarter in Baltimore. Latest NFL scores and highlights all coming up on the State Farm postgame show. That is a glittering goatee.
What kind of moisturizer do you think he's using?
I don't know how you get that stuff off.
Sandpaper.
5:23 to play. Steelers 23, Ravens 16. Pittsburgh will have it at the 25-yard line. Steelers have had a number of long drives today. That's why the time of possession is so lopsided. 31-50 in favor of Pittsburgh, 22-47 for Baltimore. Steelers get one more long drive, and you could say goodnight.
Now, the Ravens' inability to get off the field on 3rd downs has been the story as well. Steelers 8 of 13 converting 3rd downs.
Shotgun for Roethlisberger. James, the motion man, pitch it to Connor. Connor squeezes through 2 defenders. Brought down by Brent Urban on the outside. A 4-yard pickup. Connor has just cracked 100 yards rushing on the day.
And you saw besides squeezing, he's squeezing the football. They got a Tavon Young having troubles getting off the field.
So Cyrus Jones would step in for Young. Steelers will face a 2nd and 6. Well, he was grabbing at the right foot. They're handling him gingerly as Jefferson came over to check one of his buddies in the secondary. Now that's looks like the ankle area. Tavon Young in his 3rd year. He and Sean Davis of the Steelers are very close. Davis told us he was really looking forward to seeing Tavon.
Now let's check him out. You see right here. That's big Ramon Foster. Young gives away about 40 pounds or so to Foster.
He's putting a little bit of weight on it. But Young getting some help with 5:11 to play here in the 4th. He's having a really tough time. Ball is placed at the 29-yard line after the Connor run.
The Ravens have all 3 timeouts. It'll be interesting to see how John Harbaugh elects to use those timeouts. And it's up to Wink Martindale's defense right now to force a change of possession.
2nd and 6. Shotgun for Roethlisberger. Once again, a running play. And running into a crowd at the 30. A pickup of 1 for Connor. We're down to 4:40 to go. 3rd and 5 for the Steelers.
Yeah, as big as this game is for the Ravens, this 3rd down is so critical for their season. And they are crowding the line of scrimmage. All 11 are within 6 yards of the line of scrimmage.
3rd down and 5 for Pittsburgh. They handle the rush. Roethlisberger tosses to Brown for a 1st down. Jimmy Smith lost his helmet on the play. That pass covers 8 yards, and they'll move the chains.
The quickness of Antonio Brown, left side of the screen, just coming over and beating Jimmy Smith. Just pure speed right here. Jimmy Smith had to avoid the tight end coming over. He dipped underneath him. Again, a well-designed and well-executed play on a 3rd down for Pittsburgh.
Greg Rolstad pointing to himself as he just stopped things. And they might be telling Jimmy Smith he's got to go to the sideline. And he has. So Anthony Averett is now in there, a rookie out of Alabama. 1st down for the Steelers. 3:22 to go. Give to Connor. Trying to slice it. And Connor is tackled after the gain of 2 at the 39. Mosley combining with Averett.
And you know, if this was a normal down and distance earlier in the game and a rookie corner comes into the game, Roethlisberger would be going after him. But that's not important right now. The clock is the most important thing as it continues to roll. So they're going to again feature James Conner.
Baltimore has 3 timeouts remaining. We have 2:48 to play here in the 4th. Pittsburgh holding on to a 7-point lead.
Well, this is a dangerous matchup, though. No safety help. Here's Weddle.
Roethlisberger gives it to Connor. Powers through for a pickup of 4. Chris Wormley in on that stop with Brandon Williams. We check in with Evan Washburn.
Well, guys, this is never a good sign. The blue tent was filled with Tavon Young, so Jimmy Smith couldn't get in there. They have to do a quick evaluation before he can get back out on the field. He wants to get back out on the field. They just took Tavon Young out of the tent. Jimmy's in there now, so the secondary's thin on this crucial drive.
You have a backup in the blue tent.
You need another tent. Let's go camping.
We're going to hit the 2-minute warning. Steelers try to extend this drive and looking to hold on in Baltimore.
And by Pizza Hut, official pizza sponsor of the NFL.
Two minutes to go in the fourth. 23-16 Pittsburgh, a 3rd and 4 for the Steelers. And a 5-receiver set.
And again, all 11 at the line of scrimmage.
Roethlisberger tosses it. Caught by Juju Smith-Schuster. First down into Baltimore territory.
It's like a broken record. It's the same blitz adjustment each time. A little slant route, this time on Levine. And Roethlisberger, perfect with this toss. That's the danger of having everybody at the line of scrimmage. There's no way you can double team any of the receivers. It has to be man-to-man across the board.
The Ravens had to have a stop. They didn't get it. And Baltimore uses a timeout, yep. 2 remaining.
That's it. They have to start burning those timeouts. They could have used one before the 2-minute warning, but that's a moot point at this point.
Harbaugh rolled the dice, hoping to save his timeouts, get the football back. And instead, Pittsburgh has a first down. Roethlisberger on a give to Connor. Brought down by Judon. Second timeout called by the Ravens.
But you can see the difference in Connor running to protect the ball instead of worrying about getting yardage. No spin moves, both hands on the ball.
So if they stop them on back-to-back running plays here, you're looking at about 50 seconds where the Ravens would get the football back.
The question is, where will they get the football back?
Now the question also is, can they stop them?
That has been the problem.
2nd and 9 for the Steelers. 1:50 on the clock. Connor has run for 108 yards. James, the motion man, shotgun formation for Roethlisberger, but it's a running play to Connor. Looked like he had a head of steam, but he ran into Jimmy Smith for a loss of 1.
Jimmy Smith did a great job of beating the block of Antonio Brown.
Final timeout taken. Baltimore is out of timeouts. We have 1:45 to play. Steelers face a 3rd and 11. Leading this one 23-16 over Baltimore. Ravens trying to snap a losing streak. They've dropped 3 of their last 4. When these two teams met in week 4, Baltimore with a decisive victory over Pittsburgh. And at that point, it looked like the Ravens had a chance to be the class of the division. Pittsburgh was really struggling, but since that point, the tables have turned. Steelers are 4-2-1, riding a 3-game winning streak.
And the question is, did they put the ball in the air here, or did they give it to Connor and just take more time off the clock, not risking an incomplete pass or interception?
Well, you're talking about the difference of 40 seconds if it's incomplete. Roethlisberger to throw it. Looking downfield, Roethlisberger will take the sack, and that's the smart play. The clock continues to roll. Instead of trying to force something, and an incomplete pass stops the clock, at least now, from the Pittsburgh vantage point, you're giving Baltimore less of a chance with the time.
And a great job in the secondary, blanketing the receivers. And as you said, Ian, this is what Ben Roethlisberger is all about. We know about his physical talents and everything, but that is just a smart play. Not throwing the ball away to save the sack, taking the sack and letting the clock roll. This is a coverage. Jimmy Smith blanketing Antonio Brown on the deep crossing route.
And Judon with the sack for Baltimore.
Second charge timeout. Pittsburgh. This is a 30-second timeout.
That's a wise timeout because the Steelers could see exactly what the Ravens were going to do as far as whether they're going to set up for a return or try to come after Barry and block the punt.
So the Steelers get a free look. Jordan Berry will do the honors for Pittsburgh with 57 seconds to play. This is a Ravens offense that has been held to 269 yards today. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh has racked up 395. And that's with the fact that they went conservative down the stretch just to use as much clock as possible and force Baltimore to use its timeouts. Canada will snap it. Barry will punt it for Pittsburgh. Not much of a rush. Clean kick. Cyrus Jones. Got some room here from the 15. Jones high kicking and a hit from the side. Sean Davis on special teams. 45-yard kick and a 9-yard return for Jones.
Yeah, 7-point lead for the Steelers. And a couple of missed opportunities here by the Ravens, missing Lamar Jackson with a walk-in touchdown. Then the incomplete pass to Crabtree on the goal line. And then this is the last drive where they come up short and have to settle for a field goal.
Baltimore has 44 seconds to work with, no timeouts, down by 7. Flacco steps, throws, deep ball. Incomplete. Crabtree matched up with Sensabaugh. 2nd and 10.
That's a good effort by Flacco, giving Crabtree a chance on one-on-one coverage. The safety's nowhere near the sidelines. But Sensabaugh was all over that fade route.
37 seconds left. Flacco, pressure. Flacco is dumped. Back at the 17, Stephon Tuitt came firing through for the Steelers. We're down to 22 seconds left. Clock is still rolling. 12 seconds, flags down, and this has gone haywire for Baltimore. Nine seconds on the clock, depending on the call.
And this, they could run off 10 seconds and end the game.
Defense.
If it was on Baltimore.
5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
So, Ravens still have life, faint life, but they still have it.
Looked like Bud Dupree might have jumped prematurely.
They're going to tack on 2 seconds, 11 seconds on the game clock, but the Ravens are all the way back at their own 22-yard line.
After the sack, just so much time went off the clock.
Correction. Timer reset the game clock to 13 seconds.
Tack on 2 more. Now the fans love it. 13 seconds to play. A Ravens team that is 4-4 and struggling to stay in the hunt in the AFC North. Flags down from everywhere.
Offense, number 72. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Alex Lewis. Yep. So now you're looking at maybe a 15 to 20-yard play down the field along the sideline, just hoping to get into a range where Joe Flacco can fling it down for a Hail Mary. Right now, he can't from this distance.
It's going to take a whole rosary bead.
Yep. Out of bounds. John Brown. 8 seconds left.
That's one thing the Steelers have really done a good job is holding down John Brown. That's just his 4th catch today for only 14 yards.
Flacco has a big arm. It's not that big. 8 seconds left, and 4th and 11 for Baltimore.
Now get the Stanford band out there.
Flacco underneath. Crabtree fakes it. Then a pitch for Buck Allen. And Allen tosses it. It's caught by John Brown. Brown is still running. Brown will throw it across the field. Flag is down. Willie Snead working the sideline. Knocked away from Allen, and that's it.
offense, number 13. That penalty declined. The ball game is over.
The Steelers hand the Ravens a damaging loss. Pittsburgh comes into Baltimore and gets it done. 4 straight wins for the Steelers to improve to 5-2-1 on the season. The Ravens drop to 4-5 in the AFC North. Pittsburgh puts a little more space between themselves and Baltimore. Cincinnati, of course, still very much in the mix at 5-3. The 50th all-time meeting between these two teams, and it belongs to Pittsburgh. 23-16 is your final. For Dan Fouts, Evan Washburn, Ian Eagle saying so long from Baltimore. Coming up, State Farm postgame show. We'll take you back to New York for all the scores and highlights coming up right after this.
I'm at